So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about chords and understanding how chords are constructed. Now, chords are referred to as triads. We have major triads or minor triad. And what triads are, they are chords that are constructed using 3 notes. And they are the most common types of chords that you will learn on the guitar, especially when you are new to playing the guitar. Now, when I say that a chord is a triad, it uses 3 specific notes from the major scale. If we look at the C major scale, let's refresh our memory on the C major scale. We have C is note 1, D is 2, or the second, 3 is the major third, that's E. The fourth, that's F. G is the 5th. A is the 6th, the major 6th. B is the major 7th. And C is the octave. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the root note, number 1. We're going to miss out the second, which is D. And we're going to play the note of E, that's the thirds. We have our major third interval that we looked at. We're going to miss out the note of F, and we're going to play the note of G, which is our 5th. When we play those 3 notes together, we get a root third and 5th, which is our major triad. Now, when we form a major chord, we will actually double some of those notes up. For instance, we will include the octave. So we have root, major third, 5th, octave. And because we've got this E note here, that's the octave of the major third. You can hear it's the same note, it's the E note. So our major chord, although it's made up of only 3 notes, root, third and 5th, we're going to double up our root and we're going to double up our third to form a full C major voicing. So the next chord we're going to look at is the minor chord, or the minor triad. And this is ever so slightly different from the major triad. It's just a small alteration to the major triad. What you're going to do is you're going to take the major third of the chord and just lower it by a semitone. Now, we could look at our minor scale, our A minor scale, and look at the root, the minor third, and the 5th. Let me play that an octave higher. I'm going to play A, C, and E. There's our minor triad. Now, it's quite a thin sounding chord. So when we form our full chord voicing, like so, that's using the notes of A, the root, then we have a 5th, then we have our root, then we have our minor third, and then we have the octave of the 5th. Now you can hear that has quite a sad sound about it. So our major chord is a root, major third and 5th, and our minor chord is a root, minor third and 5th. Now you can actually form minor chords a little bit easier than looking at these intervals within the scale. For instance, if I take our major chord, A major, and I take our major third, that's the note of C sharp. If I just drop that note by a semitone, there you can hear we get our minor chord. And that's a really nice thing to do. Play a major chord, drop the third, and turn it into a minor chord. Now, you can, of course, apply this same technique to all of your chords. You can play the major chord. Once you know where the major third is located, you can drop it by a semitone, and that will result in your minor chord. So why is it important for you to understand the differences between major and minor chords? And why is it important for you to understand the formula? Well, for constructing chords, like I said, playing an A major chord, knowing exactly where the major third is to be able to lower it, to turn it into a minor chord. Also, the relationship between certain major chords and certain minor chords, namely C major and A minor. It's good to know how these chords work together. It's good to understand the different sounds that these chords create, be it a happy sound or a sad sound, the characteristics of the sound of the chords, and also later on how you can use these chords to build chord progressions. Also, I think it's really important to understand the different types of chords for learning songs and being able to understand how song chord progressions are constructed.